Welcome to Tech Talk Friday, and I'm here with Karam. And Karam, a lot of interesting developments in the tech arena. We've got I think mostly the Ministry of Science, Technology, and Information, sort of
Innovation.
innovation with Kyrie, right? YB Kyrie Jamaluddin, and announced 100 million ringgit, or what, US 23 million dollar grant, sort of, to startups to help them out in this current situation. What's your thought on that? I mean, is that real? Is that something that's really going to happen? And who's going to benefit from all this?
Well, I think the 100 million, because I think they were under pressure from startups, the ecosystem, to say that the Prihatin, incentives for SMEs and all was not really, there was no tailored component for startups, which are higher risk and, whose technology focused business model is different from your brick and mortar, businesses. So then Kyrie has been championing the cause of startups, and then also in the press conference that was held on the 8th of May, the finance minister Tengku Zafrul was with him also. They spoke about a lot of things. They made some announcements that sounded like there were new funds, but they were not new funds. So we focus on this one, which is this 100 million ringgit, and this is interesting because it is going to be a loan, yeah. It is a loan, very low, only 3.5% interest, and
Similar
for up to 5 years.
Similar to the ones that were given to SMEs for the banks. I think the banks were supposed to do the 3.5% or 3.75.
But these are not through the bank. This is through a Malaysian debt venture. So Malaysian debt ventures will get 100 million, and because debt ventures is already used to giving debt financing, right? They've got all the procedures in place to evaluate people. Very important, because Kyrie also mentioned we want to get the money out there fast.
Yes. Okay? And it's limited to about 2.5 million per startup, right? Or
maximum 2.5 million ringgit, 500,000 ringgit also. But the good thing is that this is to help you with your cash flow, right? With your operations and maybe even business expansion. So to get this, Roshan, your company has to show that in the past few months you already had money coming in. If your cash flow the last let's say before March October till February is like 50,000 a month, and then you cannot ask for I want 250,000, I want 2 million ringgit right? So it's very good because it's going to be based on the needs that your company has already shown it was able to attract. So they say, okay, we'll help you now with this stopgap function measure.
And I think the definition of startup is a little broader, right? It's not just folks that are 1 or 2 years, right? It's anybody in the technology sphere that.
No. Actually, no. That's a very good question, because they never gave a definition of startups. But as it is, right, Roshan, if you are new, if you don't have a lot of new startups, even up to 18 months, sometimes they have very little cash flow.
Absolutely.
And if you do, means then you're only going to get based on your cash flow. You may not even be eligible for 500,000. So this will really benefit those who are around the 5 year, who are 4-5 years old. They've been around long enough to show that they have a product that's valuable, a service that's valuable, that's getting money.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think, because Aaron Sharma, I think, was sharing with me also about the definition of a startup, that the startup is to him and to at least Scale Up Malaysia and all the guys who kind of was pushing this whole agenda with startups. Because when we think of startups, you think of 1 year old, 2 year olds, but it's really the guys with the potential to scale and to have very scalable business models to expand out of the country ultimately, and to bring some good FDI and other investments into the country at some point in time. So I think it's commendable. I guess it's a good venture. I mean, you giving it a thumbs up, right? This whole $100 million.
Yeah, definitely, because I know from Malaysian Debt Ventures, they've already opened. There's a window, a 1 week window, Roshan, for applications to come in. Started yesterday.
Yes.
And because they don't want to waste time.
Absolutely.
And they've already received applications actually for like 29 million ringgit worth. People are already asking. That's just in the first 2 days.
I know my team has just sent me the things to sign. Because we are also applying for it, so I think you will start to see that fill up relatively fast.
No, Leadernomics Digital, you guys are eligible for sure. So it's interesting. So I think the important thing is speed. They recognize that they're not reinventing the wheel. It's going to be with Malaysian Debt Ventures, and Debt Ventures said that after they close this window, and if it's all the money is allocated, fine. If not, they'll open another window. The reason why they're having only a 1 week window, all of them can focus their resources on vetting through the applications and getting people approved or not fast.
That's good. That's
But
good.
having said that, according to Malaysian Debt Ventures, this is unofficial. Actually, Magic has a definition of startups. So
Okay.
if you go to the Magic homepage, mymagic.com.my or mymagic.my,
Mm.
scroll all the way down as you go, you will see a definition of startups. And apparently, MDB said they'll be following the Magic definition of startups.
And what
So
is
go
that?
and have a look at that.
You don't know what it is, right? Offhand.
I kind of forgot. I think it's 5 years. They mentioned 5 years and a certain revenue also, and it's right there, so you can have a look. And this was told to me after my article came out, so I didn't add it into the article. But
Okay.
it's interesting, and it's very relevant. It'll help people. But I think the thing is, I think Kyrie said also, look, if the money proves to be not enough and there's a lot of demand for it, we're going to go back to MOF and say, guys, open up the taps, give us another 100 million or whatever. So don't be disheartened for those of you who applied and suddenly couldn't get it. If you have a genuinely strong case for needing the short-term help, knock on the doors again, let me know, and then we'll bring it up to the government to do.
Good. I mean, for this week, actually, startups who really are in trouble, go to look up TV and see if you guys can, participate and be part of this opportunity. I guess it's a huge opportunity, especially the challenging time for a lot of people. And as we start to see the needle sort of turn, I mean, we start to see business comes a little bit, right? I mean, there's a couple of businesses are coming back. You're starting to see some staggered income coming in for some people, but it's still going to be a challenging year, I think, for 2020.
Of course, absolutely. Just a key thing, Roshan, you brought up a very good point about the startup definition, because one entrepreneur said that his finance people called Malaysian Debt Ventures on Monday, and they were told that your company is not a startup. And it's not, because it's actually a 10 years old, but it's a very strong technology company, and the finance people say you don't qualify. So I think MDB needs to get this right, even if it's a company which is older, but it's got strong technology portfolio, right? And you're in a jam now. I think they need to be helped, because we've got very few companies in Malaysia that own their own technology.
Yeah, and that's where the alignment piece always tends to. I mean, we saw that, right, when they announced the initial MCO. One guy said this, the police said this, the minister said this. So I think the definition is very important, that at some point in time, somebody calls the shots and say this is the definition, because then you get a lot of frustrated people, who will assume I can get it, you can't get it, and then all kinds of misconstructions and what do we call the theories of conspiracy theories will start to come out. So I think that's important. I guess those are things that, Karam, you can advise MDV to make sure there's very good clarity on definitions, so the people who apply up front, have clarity, and when the rejections or approvals come, it's clear. With that, maybe we can, it's been a good, quick session, Tech Talk Friday this week. We'll catch up again next week, and here's Karam, and we'll catch up with you. So this is Tech Talk Friday for you this week. Take care, everyone. Have a good weekend.